Hi dear viewers, welcome to Display Repair. Is your car shaking or vibrating while the car is parked and the engine is turned on, or while you're driving? Well, if this is the case, in this video we'll see some of the most common reasons for this problem. Hopefully this video will help you find the problem, if not even solve it. So stay tuned.
DisplayRepair.com. Be sure to visit us at our website DisplayRepair.com, where you can find more useful car and driving tips.
Now, dear viewers, before we start, you have to know one important thing, and this is key to finding what the cause of the vibrating and shaking is. You have two common scenarios when this happens. When the car is in standstill, so you've parked the car, you've turned on the engine, and everything vibrates around you, okay? You can feel it on the steering wheel, you can feel it on the gear shifter, you can feel it on the seats. You'll notice the plastic trimming rattling around you. Those are the most common symptoms of this. That is one thing, and that is one set of causes for this problem. The other common scenario is when you are driving and the vibrating and shaking happens. That's a different set of causes for this problem. Why am I telling you this? Well, this will give you a pathway, and I think in most cases a very quick solution to what the problem is. Yes, there are moments when it's more complicated to find this problem. It can be very tricky sometimes, but in most cases it will at least give you an overview of what the main problem may be. Oftentimes, if you don't pay attention to this, it can lead to replacing parts that don't need to be replaced in the first place, to unneeded costs and losing time, money, nerves, and so on. Now, dear viewers, we will first start with the most common reasons for vibrating and shaking when the car is parked. The most common cause for this problem, in 99% of cases, is the engine. That's the cause of it. So the first thing you should do is pop the hood and see if the engine is shaking. If it is shaking, then there are a couple of common reasons for this problem. The first one is that the engine has a rough idle for some reason. You can easily notice this as the engine will be not violently shaking in most cases, but it will be mildly shaking, and it will be on the brink in some cases of cutting off completely. Some of the most common reasons for this may be a dirty throttle body or a bad throttle body, malfunctioning throttle body. It may be a bad idle air control valve if you have an older model of the throttle body. It may be an air leak, for instance, and there are a couple of reasons for this. Regarding the rough idle, we've made a separate video on this topic. 10 most common reasons for a rough idle. I'll leave a link in the corner and in the video description so you can take a look if you're interested. Another common reason that you have a rough idle may be that the fuel intake system is a problem. There may be a problem with the fuel injectors. There may be a problem with the fuel pump. There may be a problem with the fuel quality. Consider all of this when you have a rough idle. Next, very common problem when the engine is shaking is an engine misfire. What does this mean? Well, if you have, for instance, 4 cylinders like on the Skoda, 1 or 2 are not working. Depending on how many cylinders are not working is how violently the engine will shake. In most cases, and again, I'm sorry if I'm boring, we've made a video about this, how to change an ignition coil and what happens with the misfire, can you drive with a misfire, and so on. In most cases with the misfire, the engine really violently shakes, especially if 2 cylinders are not working, in a 4-cylinder car, for instance. In that case, if you have 2 cylinders that are not working, you won't probably be able to start the car. But if 1 cylinder is not working, then the engine will violently shake, and you'll easily notice this. And because of this, the vibrations will be relayed onto the car body and you will feel it. Some of the most common problems for engine misfires on petrol engines are bad ignition coils. We've talked about this, bad spark plugs. If you have spark plug cables on your car, then that may be the problem. And there are various reasons for this also, but these are the most common ones. One more fairly common reason for this problem are bad engine mounts. Now, I don't know how much you're into cars and car technology, so to say, but engine mounts are essentially holders for the engine that at the same time act as dampeners for the vibrations from the engine to the car body and to the cabin. So all in all, they are dampeners for that vibration. They consist of a big metal anchor that has a big rubber grommet inside, and that rubber is in charge of preventing that vibration from getting from the engine onto the car body and into the passenger cabin. When material fatigue kicks in and this rubber gets old and cracked, it stops doing that, hence the vibrations and the shaking. That's in short. We'll be making a specific video on this topic where I'll tell you how to diagnose a bad engine mount problem. It's very interesting and again a fairly common problem, especially on higher mileage cars. When this happens, you will feel the vibrating and shaking in a specific way. You will immediately feel it once you start the car. To know that the engine mount is the problem, in short, pop the hood, look at the engine. If the engine is not shaking, if it's purring, if the idling is smooth, but you notice that vibrating, that is the first sign that the engine mount is the problem. One more thing is that when you sit inside the car and you press the accelerator pedal, you may feel on manual cars, you may see the stick shift moving a bit, and you may notice that the vibrating stops. So when you add some revs, the shaking and vibrating stops. And one more thing I must mention, and this is really rare, but I've seen a couple of these scenarios, I like to call them that way, so I would just like to mention them when we're talking about this topic. That is, for instance, when you have a bad bearing, when you have a bad pulley, when one of the devices on the car is causing some sort of friction, okay? You may have a bad alternator bearing, there may be a bad roller or something like that. That may cause a certain kind of vibration. Then, I must also mention this, if there are faulty parts of the air intake, for instance, a duct or air hose that is pretty badly damaged, so there is excess air coming into the system. If you have problems with a faulty air intake, it will also cause a certain kind of I'm gonna explain it like this. It goes whoa, 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 like this, and at the same time you may get a mild vibration. Now we get to the part when the shaking and vibrating appears while you're driving. The first situation, also very common, is that the vibrating and shaking appears while you're braking. So you press the brake pedal and the shaking starts. It can be from barely noticeable to very violently shaking. And the most common cause for this are warped brake discs, worn out brake pads, or the lock pins on the caliper are worn out and the rubber grommets where the locking pin goes through, they can be worn out also. So the caliper, essentially when you brake, every time the caliper moves and causes a problem. There can be some other reasons, but these are the main ones. So if you notice this, I recommend to check the brakes as soon as possible. Now, the next kind of vibrating and shaking that happens is that when you're driving, it is then vibrating and shaking. When you drive, the vibrating and shaking is always present. Or it may happen when you reach a certain speed. It usually happens from, let's say, 40-50 kilometers per hour upwards. Well, in that case, there are a couple of things you can check. First, check the tires, and especially check them if they are nearing the end of their service life, and especially check this if you know that they are older, okay, if they are, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old. If you recently hit a pothole or something like that and may have damaged the tire, all in all, the tires are the first thing to check, okay? Check their condition, check if they're cracked, check the manufacture date. Use your hand and go around the back of the tire, inside the wheel arch, and check if there are any kinds of damages and so on. What can I say? The tires are one of the most common causes for this, and if you have a damaged tire, it can often mimic more serious problems like a wheel bearing, like a bad CV joint, like problems with the suspension. And to prevent a wild goose chase, you should check the tires first. If they are older, if they are cracked, if they are dangerous, replace them as soon as possible, because otherwise you're a safety risk for yourself and other participants in traffic. Now, one more very tricky cause of vibrating and shaking on the car is problems with the suspension. Now, just to mention a few common causes of this, that is a bad wheel bearing, a bad CV joint, a bad CV axle, a bad tie rod, a bad ball joint, and the list goes on, all depending on the type of car and how complicated the suspension is. These, what I mentioned, are the most common ones. What's the biggest problem here? Pinpointing the problem. But if you have a bit more experience around cars, you may be able to pinpoint the problem, because most of these symptoms have other symptoms accompanying them that will make the search much easier. You may notice that besides the vibrating and shaking, the car pulls to one side. You may have a slight glitch on the steering wheel. You may even have a stronger pull to one side or the other. You may hear a clicking sound, and all of these may help to properly diagnose the problem. The best thing to do in this case is to jack up the car, preferably you can already hear from what wheel it's coming from, and rotate the wheel, check if there is any play in the wheel, check the suspension elements, and perhaps you will find the problem. When diagnosing this problem, take your time, be careful, pay attention so you don't make a wrong diagnosis and throw away money and change parts that you didn't need to. So to make a short resume on the whole video, if the car is shaking and vibrating while it's parked, while it's in standstill, pop the hood and check the condition of the engine. If it's vibrating or shaking, solve the engine problem and you will solve the shaking and vibrating problem. If you see that the engine is okay, but you're noticing the vibrations, check the engine mount, see what condition they are in, and change them as soon as possible. If you're experiencing shaking while driving, when you're braking, then check the brake system as soon as possible. I think in most cases you'll have to check the brake discs, and it would be good to check the brake pads and change them also if needed. If the vibrating happens while you're driving, check the tires and check the suspension. And when checking the suspension, be careful. Again, there are numerous reasons for this problem. So dear viewers, for the end of this video, I would like to tell you one more thing, and that is when solving a vibrating and shaking problem, have some patience, okay? Just like with 90% of all car problems, it's not that easy to solve. Take your time, make a thorough inspection, don't jump to conclusions. This is one more car problem where you can easily, as I mentioned in the previous parts of the video, where you can end up changing lots of sometimes expensive parts that you didn't need to. And trust me, this can be a problem even to experienced mechanics and car technicians. Thank you, dear viewers, for watching. Thank you for your time. Above all, I hope this video helps. If you find the time, please like and subscribe. It's a huge help for what we're doing. Also, watch our other videos where we show you some simple maintenance tips, lots of things that you can do on your own around the car, tips about driving, car-related topics, all in all, that should help you have an easier life with your car. Thank you once more. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.